My dear Blaze family, thank you for your continued support and patience during this pandemic. I'm gonna just come out and tell you, I miss my kids. I miss my teams. I miss my Blaze family. I miss seeing all those happy fitness faces crushing it daily and seeing their lives change before my eyes. I miss my boys' volleyball teams. I miss watching my libero get ticked off when we pulled him from his position, and then the next tournament, in the best and only way he knew how, demanded his position back, and literally in one game played his mind out like never before. You saw him face adversity and overnight choose what his destiny was going to be, and his confidence and self changed forever. I miss seeing the transition of another young man who could hardly time his attack. You didn't know if when he jumped up, his hand or his head was going to hit the volleyball. But in 2 weeks, with the right training, the Blaze coaches literally transformed him into a new man, so much so that other parents were warning other clubs about him. And from that point on, he stopped walking into our huddle, wondering if he was going to compete, and instead expecting to be the go-to guy. I miss walking in the Champion Center, watching our volleyball coaches laugh and collaborate and coach as a team like a real family would. I miss seeing our athletes stretch out for the first time and take a 65-mile-per-hour kill, coming up and realizing, did I just do that? Our volleyball club was crushing it, walking away with multiple medals every single week and smiles on their faces. I miss the way our basketball coaches battled between practices, laughing, holding on to that last little bit of their golden years. I miss watching them from afar, working with their athletes and seeing them inject wisdom and confidence into their game. I miss watching a young Michael Jordan walk into our gym for the first time with confidence and swagger, wondering what kind of attitude makes this kid up, only to see the look in his eyes and be immediately blinded by the gold cross that glistened around his neck, clearly then realizing the cloak of humility he was bathed in. I miss my pint-sized 4'6" point guard, literally half the size of all the players around her, take the basketball to the rim and the land of giants with such fierce determination and complete fearlessness that nothing was going to stop her. She will lead our world one day. I miss my triplets who come into the gym every single day training like professionals, 1 hour and beating each other up the next. I miss my Blaze Pro men chattering and dunking in the gym on Monday and volunteering in the community on Tuesday. There are a million reasons I could argue why Blaze is essential. Without Blaze, without sport, the opportunities to make life-changing impacts slowly diminish. The opportunities for our athletes, young and old, to be placed in life-changing experiences that not only positively impacts them, but the world around them, fade away. I miss my Blaze family so much, I would defy our governor, break open our doors, and say, let's go. I have a safety plan better than any other major box store has implemented today. Because we really do. But I paused, and with much prayer and reflection, decided that would not be the right response for Blaze. We're a lot smarter and much more savvy than that. There's enough fight happening at the state capitol and with lawyers behind closed doors. There's enough health risks that people are concerned about personally and for good reason that I paused and our team paused. And I thought I would never want us to act in a manner that would compromise our integrity. Our promise to you is that we will navigate this and every storm while keeping our family and our culture intact. But I come to you today completely vulnerable and honest. Blaze is hurting because for Blaze there is no real shutdown. This is not a vacation, and any business owner or homeowner knows there are costs we are continually incurring just because we have a name. We're paying for facility, software costs, responding to unemployment insurance claims, paying accountants for guidance, staff to track the climate change and respond to it. We're continually pumping out cash to cover these required costs with zero revenue coming in. Then we have families still in a holding pattern who have paid for services far in advance, who need answers. But all the while, we're being told by the government, sorry, you'll be fined or put in jail if you try to run your business, regardless if you can do it with our safety measures. You are non-essential. For me, it feels like we've already been put in chains. You see, Blaze functions on face-to-face interaction. That has always been our business model. But that option is not only off the table, there's also no end in sight for our industry, because when the rest of the state or world comes back online, our industry is not guaranteed the same reprieve. I've been on the phone with college coaches daily and other sports industry directors and owners from across the country, and everything is still speculative, from one extreme to the next. Some are hearing we may be able to open up slowly in the end of May, early June, to I'm sorry, but do not count on seeing a sports season this summer. When you have zero revenue coming in and there's no end in sight to your costs, I can see why businesses have already shut their doors. We don't want to be that business. We want Blaze to be here for you today, tomorrow, this summer, and fall, when our teams are supposed to for sure come back online again. I've pivoted more in the last 6 weeks than I have on the basketball court the last 10 years. But as a business, you can't pivot that many times before you eventually dizzy yourself and fall over directionless. One thing if you haven't realized already, is I'm going to fight to the bitter end. Yes, I'm that coach who calls a 30-second timeout when we're down by 15 with 1 minute left in the game. You know why that's a teachable moment for me? Because it shows my kids we never ever give up. We battle all the way through. So today, I'm putting a stake in the ground in solid rock and flying our Blaze banner high. We are learning from other experts in the industry, approaching our next move strategically, and providing you with options that are flexible, meaningful, and the standard for the times we are in today. In the last 2 weeks, we have needed to adjust our business model to respond to our situation. You don't normally do that. My husband is in commercial construction, and I know what President Trump said was true. It takes about 2 years from start to finish to build a hospital. They found a way to roll temporary solutions out in 2 weeks. And in order for Blaze to continue permanently, we must provide you and your family with long-term solutions. We have to pivot our business in the right direction, strategically and efficiently, in order to guarantee we will be here for you 2, 3 months, or past the third and fourth quarters of this year. And I know we can do it. Our internal staff has spent countless hours analyzing, debating, reviewing, and coming up with what we believe is the next best move today and what will be the next best steps in the upcoming weeks and months. Emma Kane, our volleyball director, will be pushing out separate emails to each volleyball team with information addressing your team's personal situation. For basketball, I'll be asking for feedback to gauge your flexibility moving forward and show you what options we can provide for money that has already been collected. For all our sports and fitness families, we have the ability to provide the same stellar services on a new online platform moving forward. But I'm asking for your help. Please consider how much time and cost has already been involved in preparing for our services and seasons since last fall, running our seasons, and then having to adjust to the daily changes because of COVID. Consider the time it takes behind the scenes and the value we are to you as coaches, trainers, and your second family. Consider the impact Blaze has had on you personally and in the community. When we provide you with options, please consider being a part of keeping our flame alive. What might seem insignificant to you, if you take and multiply that by 300 or 400 families, your collective response will either save the Blaze or sink the Blaze. That's a raw and vulnerable statement, but it's the truth. Your response will either save the Blaze or sink the Blaze. When looking at your options, please consider if you are personally capable either continuing your services online or giving your portion back to Blazing Hearts, our 501c3, as a charitable contribution. And in return, we will send you a letter that you can use for a future tax deduction. If you want to donate outside the services rendered to you, you can find a donation link at the top of all our Blaze websites that will direct you to a donation page. I miss my Blaze family so much, and I want to see Blaze continue to be a light in the community. Our staff is going to do everything in our power to use the wisdom God has given us and the skills we have developed to fight strategically through this change in life. We hope you will join us in this fight and keep us blazing on. Thank you.